How to stay calm and present, even when life gets overwhelming. The art of letting go and finding presence amid chaos. Imagine for a moment the storm inside your mind, a whirlwind of thoughts, emotions, and what-ifs. Life has a way of bringing this storm into our consciousness, especially when we feel the weight of responsibilities, failures, or uncertainty. I've been there. You've been there. We've all been there. But what if I told you that the storm isn't something to run from or control? What if it's something to embrace? Staying calm and present in life begins with a paradox, realizing that the chaos outside is often a reflection of the chaos within. You might ask, how can I embrace something that feels so uncomfortable, so heavy? The answer lies in surrender. But not the kind of surrender that feels like giving up. This is an active surrender, a choice to observe the storm rather than be swept away by it. Let me guide you through a practice. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. Now release it slowly through your mouth. As you do, picture the air carrying out the tension, the expectations, the judgments. Feel that release. Can you sense how, even for a moment, the present feels lighter? This is your power. It's always been there. The storm only rages when we forget we are not the storm. You might wonder, if I'm not the storm, who am I? This is a profound question. Who are you beneath the roles you play? Beneath the labels society places on you? Are you a parent? A friend? A worker, or are you something deeper? I invite you to sit with this question as if you were sitting beside a calm lake, watching its surface ripple with the breeze. The answer won't come in words but in a feeling, a knowing. In moments of overwhelm, we often seek control. We plan. We strategize. We try to fix things. But the present moment doesn't need fixing, it simply needs experiencing. Have you noticed how children live fully in each moment? A child doesn't analyze the rain, they dance in it. Somewhere along the way, we stopped dancing. Why? What taught you to stop embracing the present? This brings us to a critical realization. We've been conditioned to believe that peace comes from controlling life. But true peace comes from trusting life. Can you trust that even when life feels overwhelming, it's leading you to exactly where you need to be? Let's explore this trust. Think about the most challenging moment you faced. At the time, it might have felt unbearable, like you'd never make it through. But you're here now. What did that moment teach you? Perhaps it showed you your strength, your resilience, or your capacity to love and forgive. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Even the chaos is a teacher. When you feel yourself slipping into anxiety or overwhelm, try this. Pause and ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? What is it asking of me? Often, it's asking you to let go of something, expectations, fears, or the need to control. Letting go isn't easy. It's not something you do once and master forever. It's a daily practice. Like breathing. The next time you're caught in a moment of stress, try this. Place your hand over your heart and take a slow, deep breath. Feel the warmth of your hand, the rhythm of your heartbeat. This is your anchor to the present. Your breath is always with you, a loyal companion in every moment of life. No matter how turbulent the world around you becomes, your breath reminds you, you are here. You are alive. You are enough. And here's something even more powerful. When you truly embrace the present moment, you transform it. The same situation that felt overwhelming can suddenly feel manageable. Even beautiful. When viewed through the lens of presence. Can you imagine looking at life's challenges and seeing them not as barriers but as invitations to grow? What would change for you if you started seeing every obstacle as a gift? Before we move forward, I'll leave you with this question. What is one thing you're holding on to right now that no longer serves you? What would happen if you let it go? Sit with this question. Let it stir something deep within you. The hidden power of acceptance, turning struggles into strength. When life feels overwhelming, we instinctively resist. We push back against reality, hoping to force it into a version that feels safer or more comfortable. But resistance often creates more tension, more suffering. What if, instead of resisting, we practiced acceptance? Not the passive kind that resigns itself to fate, but the active kind that acknowledges what is, without judgment. Take a moment to reflect. What are you resisting in your life right now? Perhaps it's a difficult relationship, a job that no longer fulfills you, or a personal habit you're struggling to change. Imagine holding that resistance in your hands. Feel its weight. Now ask yourself, what would happen if I stopped fighting this and simply allowed it to be? Acceptance doesn't mean agreeing with everything or giving up on change. It means seeing things clearly, as they are, without the fog of judgment or fear. When you accept a situation, you create space for transformation. It's like trying to untangle a knot. If you pull too hard, the knot tightens. But if you gently loosen the strands, the knot begins to unravel on its own. Think about this. How often do we resist our emotions? We label them as good or bad, trying to cling to the pleasant ones and push away the painful ones. But emotions are like waves. They rise, crest, and fall. When we resist them, we get caught in their turbulence. When we accept them, we can surf the wave instead of being swallowed by it. Here's a practice you can try the next time you feel overwhelmed by an emotion. Pause and name it. Say to yourself, this is anxiety or this is frustration. Naming the emotion helps you step back from it, creating a sense of space. Then, instead of trying to fix or suppress the emotion, simply observe it. Where do you feel it in your body? Does it have a shape, a color, a temperature? Allow yourself to sit with the emotion without trying to change it. Notice how it shifts, softens, or dissolves over time. Now, let's talk about self-compassion. When life overwhelms us, we're often our own harshest critics. We tell ourselves we should be stronger, smarter, or more resilient. But what if you spoke to yourself the way you would to a dear friend? Imagine a friend comes to you, overwhelmed and in pain. Would you criticize them? Or would you offer kindness and understanding? Why should you be any less gentle with yourself? Think about a time when you were struggling and someone showed you kindness. How did it feel? That kindness wasn't a weakness, it was a strength. You have the power to offer that same kindness to yourself. Place your hand over your heart and say, I'm doing the best I can. It's okay to feel this way. I'm here for myself. These simple words can be incredibly healing. There's another layer to acceptance that often goes unnoticed, accepting the impermanence of all things. Life is constantly changing, like a river that flows endlessly forward. The situations that feel overwhelming today won't last forever. Even the strongest emotions will fade, just as storm clouds eventually give way to sunlight. Can you trust in the impermanence of life, knowing that every moment, good or bad, is fleeting? Here's a question for you: if you knew that this overwhelming moment would pass, how would that change the way you approach it? Would you hold on so tightly? Or would you let it flow through you, like water through open hands? Acceptance also teaches us humility. It reminds us that we are part of something much larger than ourselves. Have you ever stood beneath a starry sky or beside a vast ocean and felt a sense of awe? In those moments, our personal struggles seem smaller. Not because they're insignificant, but because we see them in the context of the greater whole. What would it look like to carry that sense of awe into your daily life? How might it change the way you respond to challenges? I want you to consider this: the struggles you face are not here to defeat you, they're here to shape you. A seed must break open to grow into a tree. A caterpillar must endure the darkness of the cocoon to emerge as a butterfly. What transformation might your current struggles be preparing you for? As we move deeper into this journey, remember that the path to calm and presence is not a straight line. It's a winding road, full of twists and turns. But each step you take, each moment of acceptance, each act of self-compassion, brings you closer to the stillness within you. The inner stillness, discovering peace beyond circumstances. Let's take a deep breath together. Inhale slowly, filling your lungs, and exhale gently, letting go of any tension you might be holding. In this moment, you've returned to yourself, to a stillness that is always present, even when life feels chaotic. This stillness is not something external that you need to seek, it is the very essence of who you are. But how do we access this stillness consistently? Especially when life seems determined to pull us away from it. The key lies in awareness, not as a fleeting state, but as a way of being. Awareness is like the sky, vast, open, and unchanging. Even as clouds pass through it. The storms of life are those clouds, temporary, shifting, and powerless to alter the sky itself. Can you see your awareness as the sky? And your thoughts, emotions, and circumstances as passing clouds? This perspective is liberating. It reminds us that no matter how overwhelming life becomes, we are not confined by it. Have you ever asked yourself, who am I beyond my thoughts and feelings? Who am I when the noise of life quiets? To sit with this question is to open a doorway to profound peace. Here's a practice to connect with this stillness. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably. And close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and let your body relax. Now, turn your attention inward. Don't try to focus on any specific thought or feeling. Instead, simply observe. Notice the space between your thoughts, the silence beneath your emotions. This is your inner stillness. It has always been there, waiting for you to notice it. When life overwhelms us, it's often because we're caught in the web of shoulds and musts. I should have done this. I must achieve that. These thoughts create pressure and pull us away from the present. But what if you let go of these demands? Even for a moment. What if you allowed yourself to simply be? Without needing to do, achieve, or fix anything. Reflect on this. When was the last time you felt completely at peace? Even if just for a fleeting moment. Was it during a walk in nature? A moment of quiet before sleep? Or a simple act of kindness? What would it take to bring more of those moments into your life? Peace isn't something you earn, it's something you remember. And yet, the demands of life often feel relentless. Deadlines, relationships, responsibilities, they all call for our attention. So how do we balance these external pulls with the inner stillness we crave? The answer lies in intention. Each day, set the intention to return to your stillness. No matter how many times you stray. This could be as simple as pausing for a deep breath before responding to a stressful situation, or taking a moment to notice the beauty around you, a flower, a kind smile, the sound of the wind. There's a deeper truth here. Calmness isn't about escaping life's challenges, it's about meeting them with presence. Imagine standing in the eye of a hurricane. The winds roar around you, but the center is calm, unmoving. This is the power of presence. When you are fully present, you see life clearly, without the distortions of fear or judgment. You respond, rather than react. You become the eye of the storm. But presence requires courage. It means facing life as it is, without turning away. It means sitting with discomfort, with uncertainty, with the unknown. And yet, in doing so, you discover a strength you never knew you had. What would it look like for you to face your life fully, with open eyes and an open heart? What might you discover about yourself in the process? Let me share a story. Imagine a traveler walking through a dense forest. They're tired, lost, and overwhelmed by the darkness. But then they come across a small, glowing lantern. The light doesn't remove the darkness, but it guides their steps, one at a time. This is what your inner stillness does. It doesn't eliminate life's challenges, but it illuminates the path through them. Can you trust that light, even when the way forward isn't clear? As we come to the end of this journey together, let's pause to reflect. What have you learned about staying calm and present? What practices resonate with you? And, most importantly, how will you bring this wisdom into your daily life? Remember, the path to peace is not about perfection, it's about practice. Each moment is an opportunity to return to yourself, to your stillness, to the present. So I leave you with this final question: what would your life look like if you lived each moment with full presence, without resisting or clinging to anything? Sit with this question. Let it guide you. Not just today, but every day. Your stillness is always with you. Trust it. It will never lead you astray.